Let's get it on!
Sprawl and brawl, ground and pound. Get ready for an MMA showdown. Now, the ultimate Octagon Insider, Sean and Tristan Ducross.
What's up, everybody? I'm Tristan Ducross, and on my side, as always, is my partner, Sean. Sean, what a huge show we have in store for everybody. The thing that's been pretty much talked about left and right pretty much the whole entire week has been the ongoing issue and the debate, the highly contested debate. Whether you're pro-left, pro-right, down the middle, it sounds like we're talking about politics, but we're not. We're talking about Khabib versus Conor McGregor and about what happened after the event was all said and done. With the winner's hand being raised, something transpired. And it had the whole entire social media, fans in the sport, non-fans in the sport, every single person talking. And good, bad, or indifferent. We had our opinions, and trust me, our Facebook was slammed through it left and right. We were told that, hey, we don't know what we're talking about.
Hey, we're the bullies.
Right? We're the bullies. But the fact is that two wrongs do not make a right. Plain and simple. Any way you cut it. You could go all the way back as far as the bus incident with Conor McGregor and what he did, saying that he deserved it, that he didn't deserve it. But we have a guest on the show, Silverback. Russ Edwards will be joining us to give us his take on this. And we also have Lorenz Larkin joining us in the Warriors Den, getting ready for his 207 Bellator bout against Pascal. So he's coming on. i.e. Fight Night's youth own in the Warriors Den. Mason the Beast Bramlette is in the building. Again, we don't do everything the same as everybody else does. We give you different opinions, different sides, because we're tired of everybody just being the same. This is your show where we flip that script, we cross that line, and we dive bomb on everything. So, Sean, should we get into with Silverback and Russ Edwards right off the bat?
No, let's give our take real quick on what transpired at UFC 229.
Set the narrative.
And why exactly we were called the bullies when it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. But when you watch what transpired right behind us, and you saw the fact that the choke was held on a little bit too long, the neck crank, then the jumping over the cage, you saw all of this, and it was quick to say, oh, Khabib was in the wrong. He shouldn't have done what he did. But yet it's hard for me to justify what transpired and say, you know what? Yeah, his actions were worse than what Conor McGregor. And everybody's like, how? He threw a dolly through the bus window and injured a guy. Yeah, he injured one guy. Versus Khabib, potentially jumping over into the stance, caused at least a half a dozen people getting injured and taken to the hospital.
And let's set that scene that we're talking about.
Or as you said, set the narrative.
Right?
Let's go all the way back. You're talking about blame on Conor McGregor and saying that Conor McGregor is to blame for this because of his racial insensitive comments or his anti-Russian comments. But let's go all the way back to UFC 223. How did we get here? We got here because of Khabib, not because of Conor McGregor. People will say at UFC 223, Conor McGregor chucked the dolly through the bus window, and that's how we ended up here. But no, we ended up here because of Khabib going out after Artem Lobov. Artem Lobov was in a hotel lobby where Khabib went ahead and pursued him because of him calling him a potential pussy. So he went after Artem Lobov. Artem Lobov and his camp proceeded to try to remove him from the situation. Khabib continued to go after him until he grabbed him by his neck and slapped him across his face.
You can say whether it was a love tap or not, but in the meantime, that's where this all tend to escalate from.
And then when you chase him down, Conor McGregor gets back to Conor McGregor. He hops on a private jet. He flies down to Brooklyn. He ends up there. All you had to do was just get out of the bus, Khabib. we wouldn't be having this discussion.
Ain't that the truth?
We wouldn't have been having, oh, did the dolly get tossed through the bus? No. We would have had probably a confrontation down below in the docks where everybody separated somebody. Nobody would have got hurt. It would have been a melee separated, and it is what it is. But no, that continued. Conor McGregor continues to get overworked by the situation, doesn't relinquish or let up on Khabib in any sense. And I kept talking to my wife going, what's that old saying? Okay? What is it? It says, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. That saying, I couldn't get it out of my head. Because it's like, we are in a day and age where bullying is such a big thing. You talk about that in school. You talk about that in everyday in life. Is, oh, so-and-so is bullying so-and-so. And then it leads to chaos. And it leads to outcomes in which you don't want in life. Whether it be school shootings, whether it be other avenues. Bullying always exists, and it's how well do you handle that. Khabib didn't handle this situation well at all.
And
he was bullied by Conor McGregor. Whether you want to admit that, oh, bullying, that is such a bad word to use.
It is. A lot of people don't like that word.
But it's the reality of the situation that Conor McGregor was the bully. He was saying racial insensitive comments. But then my whole take back from that is, everybody acts as if this was the first time a professional athlete said anything racially insensitive. Hockey players make racial insensitive comments.
Very true.
Your media outlets have made racially insensitive comments. Baseball players have made racially insensitive comments. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about the issue with Conor McGregor. And how he said, oh, what he said was so horrible. Yeah, it was to an extent. It was really gross. I'll give you that. But at the end of the day, you were locked inside of a cage with nowhere to go. A man versus man. There's not a whole lot of room to escape. So how is it that that was so bad that you couldn't punish him like you said you wanted to do? You held on that neck crank to the point that Herb Dean had to pull it off.
And you and I talked about that. All this stuff could have been minimized. I wouldn't say prevented. I would say minimized to a certain degree that you as a ref or as an organization, everybody works for a job. Everybody does. So if you said racially insensitive stuff, you'll be suspended or fired. Fact. No. The issue that I have at hand with here is that I'm going to simply put blame because I can. You got to put blame on the people that actually allowed this and condoned these actions. Conor was never suspended, was never fined for his actions that led up to what happened. Whether he deserved it or not, doesn't matter. Khabib, what he did doesn't justify anything. The issues that are at hand is that as a referee, inside that cage, you have one job. The one job is to control peace and control the chaos that is inside that cage. Throughout that fight, I kept looking over at my brother and telling him that, man, this is escalating. Herb Dean, warn your people. Warn them. Warn your fighters. Keep control. You did no such thing. When you have a fighter that was so entrenched, so infused in this hatred, and allowed this to continue to escalate inside that cage, while you have other guys outside this cage chirping and yelling at the top of their lungs, yelling racially insensitive remarks to him. As a referee, you could have, and I've seen it, I've been around MMA for a long time, you could simply walk over to the cage and tell the corner, keep your mouth shut. Nope, wasn't done.
Control the chaos, or as Tristan said, control the narrative. Yes. You didn't control the narrative. We ended up with this situation, and what, quite frankly, what is very sickening, I guess you could say, is that the UFC is going to do the same thing they did with Conor McGregor, with the bus attack. They're going to use this to promote a rematch.
Yeah.
I don't think there should be a rematch. Quite frankly, I think that he beat him so bad that he needs to go back to the drawing board.
Sean,
but the interest...
Do we forget? Last time we saw a intense bout between a guy that choked out Conor McGregor. His name was Nate Diaz. Remember the infamous? I'm not surprised, motherfucker. Remember that?
Yeah.
What happened in number 2?
He beat him.
What happened in Khabib? Last time I checked, Khabib choked out Conor McGregor too, right?
Yeah. So then you're thinking that the sequel becomes the same thing.
It's very possible.
But you know what? Let's go ahead and get Russ Edwards on this now.
Yes.
And let's get
the
his
Silverback wants to have a talk with the Sports Warriors about this hotted topic. So we're going to get him on. Hopefully he picks up. Live show. What do you expect? Russ Edwards.
Oh, what's up?
You there, big boy?
I'm here, man.
All right. Silverback in the building. In the Warriors Den with the Ducross Brothers Sports Warriors. The hot debate right now that has the world completely divided. Khabib, Conor McGregor. Your thoughts on what transpired after that? After the jumping of the cage?
I was listening to what you guys were saying earlier, and you were saying the refs should have controlled the people talking, shit out there. It's actually the commission. They have guys from the commission that are out there, and those are the guys that should have stopped Dylan Dennis from running his mouth. So,
at that point, when you're seeing the fight inside the cage, almost right before your eyes, kind of start escalating where Khabib was clearly seen going to his corner and chirping at the ref and pointing. You saw it start escalating, and according to all reports that now as the smoke has kind of cleared and settled a little bit, Dylan Dennis throughout the whole entire fight was chirping. Why was nothing said or done at that point?
I can't even answer that, man. I don't know. People should really be paying attention to that. But like I said, there's guys out there from the commission that are like next to their corner. If the guys get out of control, they should have said something. It's not really the ref's job because he's trying to pay attention to what's going on inside the cage, not outside the cage, in my opinion.
But even in the cage, Herb Dean never warned Conor McGregor about grabbing the gloves, grabbing the tights, feet inside the cage. That kind of also played a little bit into this, why he held on that neck crank a little bit longer than what he should have.
Definitely. He should have held it longer than that, in my opinion.
So you, my friend, have been on the other side of the fence. We have had very good conversations with you, my man, about this. Yeah. And you have said, and I'm right there with you, this is where like Sean and I were like completely different. You and I have been kind of along the same boats, is that if you take trash talk to another level in terms of, racial remarks, personal attacks, you believe that he was in the right to do what he did, being pushed over the threshold.
Yeah, dude. There's like trash talking, and then there's like personal trash talking. I mean, if you're gonna talk about the guy's family, his religion, his wife, his dad, that deserves a real ass whooping outside the cage, in my opinion.
So, Russ, doesn't this go back then to the fact that during the whole bus attack first, that maybe that Khabib should have just got out of the bus and just went up to McGregor and just squared off, that maybe we wouldn't have even been in this boat that we were in on the other night?
I don't think so, because McGregor had all his homies there, so it wouldn't have been a one-on-one fight. Like, he probably would have got jumped if he would have got off the bus. I don't think he was scared or anything, but it just makes sense to just stay on the bus and let Conor, be Conor. But you brought up a thing called like the word bullying, and I think as an adult we really shouldn't use that word for other adults. Like if you're a kid, you can use that word like your kid was getting bullied. I got bullied when I was a kid, and it sucks, but it builds character and it makes you a better person, in my opinion.
So what kind of word would you say what kind of word would you use in this aspect that led to this? If you can't,
then I guess you could say that Conor McGregor was being a dick.
yeah, he was just being a fucking dick. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'd say. Bullying. If you're past the age of 14, I don't really think you should be using that word to describe grown men getting an altercation. Bullying is just, I don't like that word. It's overused now, out of context.
So as an instigator, we saw the words being thrown around like Muslim rat, taking a dig at 9/11. We all have been from that point. We know what 9/11 was back then. We understood it. We understood where we got to as a society today. As a company, you having other jobs too. What do you think a company should have done instead of allowing this and promoting this?
Yeah, they can't, the UFC can't allow those things to happen. Like, for the promotion, they use the video of him throwing the dolly in the bus. Like, they use that as promotion. What do you expect is going to happen? People from different countries, they view things different than us. Like, when you talk about someone's family here, they're like, okay, whatever. But if you talk about someone's family from a different country, people get killed for that kind of stuff, especially with religion. There are whole wars going on in the world over religion. Yeah,
and if you bring up religion in any conversation, it goes sideways real quick.
Religion and politics, man. People are going to get crazy. And us in the United States, we don't have any respect for that, So if I was Khabib, I would have did the same thing. Like, you're not going to talk about me like that. You're not going to talk about my religion or my family and expect to get away with it. And Dylan Dennis needs his ass whooped. He needs to keep his mouth shut, And I think if he wouldn't have been saying anything, then it probably wouldn't have escalated. He is the one who's the major escalator in what happened during the fight, in my opinion.
So then should the Nevada Athletic Commission look at potentially suspending him, even though that he was not related to the UFC in any way? Can they go out and suspend him from fighting in Bellator right now?
They should. Something needs to be happening because he was the main instigator. Nothing's going to happen to him, of course, but something should happen to him, like a suspension or something. He's had one fight. For all the shit that he talks, he's had one MMA fight, and he does jiu-jitsu. And
I was just going to say that, but he's a jiu-jitsu guy. Don't they all naturally talk shit?
Jiu-jitsu guys?
Yes.
Yeah, they do. They do naturally talk shit because, they don't have to get hit in the fucking face. They're like, that's the difference between a fighter and a jiu-jitsu guy. These jiu-jitsu guys walk around with their chests poked out, but when it comes down to it, your inverted guard isn't going to do shit when I got hammers raining down on you. You know what I mean? But, they're professors and, the whole culture tells them that they're badasses because they can do an armbar, and it's just, it's sad. Jiu-jitsu guys, I'm a black belt in jiu-jitsu. I've been around jiu-jitsu for a long, long time, but I just, the way these guys act nowadays is just ridiculous. And Dylan Dennis he's a representative of jiu-jitsu, talking shit and not being able to back it up.
Russ, did this also escalate because if you go back in time 8 years ago, the Nashville Brawl, Jake Shields, the Scrap Pack.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody goes back then. And Gus Johnson, one of the guys that around this circle that the MMA community absolutely despises from that situation, referenced in that night that sometimes these things happen in MMA. Dude, now, if we come full circle, are these simply things that happen in MMA?
Dude, it's like this. They're fighters, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why people are holding these guys to a higher standard. They get locked in the cage and they beat the shit out of each other. Am I right?
You're right.
So how can you expect them to conduct themselves in a certain way, like wearing suits and being respectful and all this bullshit, when at the end of the day they beat the shit out of each other? I don't understand that.
Well, because they try to change the narrative, call you guys professionals, call you athletes.
You're just a fucking savage, dude. You get in there and you fucking fight. That's what you do. So what you do outside of the cage, it shouldn't really make a difference as long as you show up to fight. All these people talking about, I'm going to be a professional. I'm going to be professional. I'm going to wear a suit. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. You're a fucking savage, dude. At the end of the day, you punch people in the fucking face, try to rip their arm off, try to rip their leg off. That's what you do for a living. You can put yourself in a suit all you want. You can't polish a fucking turd, man. You know what I mean?
So what would you do right now with Khabib? What would be the ultimate decision? If you were the commission or you were Dana White, what would you do with Khabib right now?
The dude should definitely keep his belt, fine him, and then be done with it, But I think even fining him would be good because I think Conor got fined. He at least had to pay some shit for the whole bus thing. So fine the guy, let him keep his belt, suspend him for 3 months, and then be done with it. You know.
Wipe your hands clean of this situation is what the UFC needs to do. And just kind of reset and restart, I think, after this, because it's still a hot button topic.
Yeah, don't allow people to talk shit. They're like, oh, well, you know, talking shit is part of the game. Yeah, but you need to limit it. You know what I mean? You can't be calling a grown man a rat and, you know, a terrorist and all this shit and not expect repercussions. I mean, Conor should be weary of just walking the streets, really, you know, after the shit he was talking.
Absolutely.
Anywhere, right? Anywhere. Especially going into an airport, ducking cover.
He needs to watch his motherfucking back. You know what I mean? Because people don't take count of that shit talking, especially Muslims. I mean, they blow shit up, right?
Very true.
Those motherfuckers put bombs on and walk right up to you and blow your ass up and not give a shit.
So in other words, Conor McGregor, shave your beard, hide your tattoos, go into hiding because you're wanted.
He needs to do something.
You'll be on a milk carton soon.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to let this one slide. You know what I mean? I really don't. But, you know, I could be wrong. But if it was me, every time you see me, we fight. You know what I mean? I'm fighting you every time we see each other.
Yep, I'm right there with you too, Russ.
You can't be talking that shit like that, man. Like I said, that should get you killed, man. And now the guys coming up in the MMA game, they think that that's the way they get seen. If you go on like MMA like forums and stuff and like the websites, everyone's talking shit. People who don't even talk shit are talking shit.
Yep, trust me.
I remember when my boy fucking Phil Davis started to talk shit. Phil's one of the nicest dudes ever. You know what I mean? And then, I can't
Phil
remember who
Davis
was
trash talking. He kind of needs like to go to Trash Talking 101 or listen to Chael Sonnen a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean the whole thing about shit talking is ridiculous. I mean, just fight, man. Like remember UFC back in the day? They had one fight a month, right? You knew all the fighters. You know, it was cool. And now you don't know any of the fighters. There's fights every month. I mean, like every week, pretty much. And then people want to get on these cards, so they're talking shit. You know?
Yep.
It's crazy, man. If you don't know how to talk shit, don't talk shit. If you're not a shit talker, don't talk shit.
Keep your mouth shut. Move on. Nothing to see here.
And if you do talk shit, be prepared for the repercussions of talking shit. The problem is no one does anything anymore. You know what I mean? If someone talks shit, no one goes up to them and slaps them in the fucking face.
It's how big of a bark do you have? How much can you puff up your chest and scare the individual?
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, no one's scared. I mean, you fight for a living. Like, why would you be scared? You know what I mean? You're gonna punch someone in the face anyway.
Right. So that's your job.
So why are you scared of this guy? I hate when people say, "Oh, he's scared." You can tell he's scared. He's not scared. He's punched people in his face his whole life, and he gets paid to do it. So why is he scared? You know? It doesn't make any sense to me.
Very true, but then again, this whole entire Khabib and situation doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But thank you, Russ Silverback Edwards, for joining us and giving us your take and being open and candid about this situation. I think we need to have more of you in this world, and I know that after this, you're going to go into your little hiding spot, but hopefully I can pull you back out again. Thank you for coming on to the show.
Yeah, man, no problem, man. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you.
All right, my man. So there you go. Russ Silverback Edwards joining the Sports Warriors with the Ducross brothers. Again, man, see, that's the narrative that we need to get out. That's what we're talking about, is that you have to know the actions that are coming forth from you. There's other players to this outside of just Conor McGregor. It's easy to say Conor's name, but there's other players involved in this. And now we're going to take a short break, come back out. We got Lorenz Larkin from Bellator 207. He's going to be joining the Ducross Brothers Sports Warriors. We are live, IELiveTV.com, Facebook, Sean and Tristan Ducross, Ducross Brothers, Wednesdays, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then we got, I cannot just not do it. Every time I want to say Mason the Beast Bramlette, I just want to call him Little Bramlette because he legit looks like Little Bramlette. David Bramlette from IE Fight Night blessed us with his son here today, so we're going to be talking to him. In the meantime, quick break. Then we'll come right back out and do this thing all over again with hopefully Lorenz Larkin. So more with the Ducross Brothers right after this.
You're now listening to the Sports Wars with Sean and Tristan Ducross every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You want all your local amateur MMA news? You want a new fresh take on pro MMA? This is your show every Wednesday on IELiveTV.com and Facebook Live.
It's time! Oh my... It's time! No. It's time.
Bruce, time for dinner!
Hello, I'm Lyle Murdoch of IE Live TV. Have you ever had an idea or dreamt about producing your own show? Or maybe you just have an event that you'd like to make available online? Then contact us here at IE Live TV. We are using the latest technology in live streaming and top quality video equipment in our productions. Servicing all audio and video needs, our systems are compact, wireless, and completely mobile, so our presence is barely noticeable. Here at IE Live TV, we're doing high quality audio and video productions at a fraction of the cost of other production studios. To find us, just go to www.ielivetv.com or give us a call at 866-831-5737. IE Live TV for quality live video streaming.
All right, everybody, we are back. We are live. I'm Tristan Ducross. Along my side, as always, is my brother Sean Ducross. We are the Ducross Brothers Sports Warriors. On the line in the Warriors Den with your boys, Bellator's own Lorenz Larkin. What's up, big boy?
What's up? What's going on, everybody?
Wait, what the heck? Are you wearing no shirt?
Yeah, with the contrast of a big black chair.
What? Do I want to know what you were doing?
I'm getting ready for a photo shoot, so I specifically told them, the guy was just about to take my photos. I said, hey, stop. The brothers are calling. You're going to have to wait.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you for your time. So
no problem.
So you're on your third opponent, Ion Pascu, now in this welterweight Grand Prix alternate bout. How is it? How's your mind still staying straight after this?
Oh, that's all good, man. And my thing is, I've been training the same, so I've had a full camp. I've been training the same as if my first opponent didn't get injured. You know, so I don't know. It doesn't matter to me at this point.
You just want to put everybody on the welterweight Grand Prix on notice, right?
Oh, yeah, they will be after this fight, man. You know, it's just, you know, he's just going to he's stepping up to take the fight, and that's what you do, you know, when these type of occasions call, you know. I mean, anybody will take the fight. So it's a good way for him to get his name out there and, you know.
Were you disappointed that you were named as an alternate instead of being actually in the Grand Prix?
No, that was my option. You know, my thing is, when they approached me to be in the welterweight tournament, the timeline, the time frame didn't match up as far as when they wanted me to fight in the tournament. So for me, you know, the tournament's not that big of a deal when it comes to the tournament or my layoff time. You know, I don't like layoffs, and I like to be real active. So the only conclusion to that, or the only conclusion, or just, you know, to fix the problem, was to have me fight before that, and it could be an alternate. So then I said, okay, I'll do that instead of being in the tournament.
You know, I'm thinking about the alternate. That To me, that actually comes off as a smart strategic play, because then you'll actually end up potentially being the healthier individual.
Right? That's like, it's the best position to be in.
It was like a no-brainer at this point.
I might just come in the final.
Ask him how Boss Hog the Crip is.
So we could potentially see a Lorenz Larkin take on a Douglas Lima for the welterweight strap.
Oh, yeah.
And we're talking about super fights, and here potentially in a welterweight, you have Rory McDonald, John Fitch, Douglas Lima, all inside this. MVP, whether you want to throw him in actually a legit contender or not, having him in this tournament, there's a lot of potential star-studded fights for you that you could see at the end of the road. You could be holding up the strap, and all the other players that were inside of this are going to be looking at you as the new champ. How does that feel?
Oh man, it feels great. It's all the upsides. The money, the belt. Shoot.
What would be?
What else can you ask for?
What would be next for Lorenz Larkin when you get that strap? What's beyond the strap at that point?
Going on a full Europe tour, showing the belt, and I don't know. I'm thinking about hitting a couple like different destinations, in Europe, and everywhere I go, eat on the belt, so nobody's even gonna want that shit after this time. They're gonna be like, you just keep the belt.
So instead of drinking out of the Stanley Cup,
he's gonna eat on the belt.
Exactly.
But why Europe?
I don't know. It's just some, fancy. Why
fancy,
not?
classy, makes sense with a nice gold belt.
Right?
Any other place he could have said, and he chose Europe. The shirtless man chose Europe.
I'm on this cashmere seat. Why not?
Our producer wants to know how's Boss Hog the Crip doing.
He's good, actually. I think he's up in the room right now, but I know he's going to be coming down later.
So are we going to see Boss Hog the Crip show up during the press conference for Bellator 207 for the weigh-ins?
I don't think they're doing a press conference at the weigh-in. If they do a press conference after the fight, I'm pretty sure he's going to show up.
Because he wants to put the welterweight on notice.
If the press conference, I'll probably just have him go. He has all the answers. I probably won't even show up.
I think Bellator is kind of looking for Boss Hog the Crip and not Lorenz Larkin. If I'm hearing rumors right, I mean, Lorenz Larkin's kind of getting pushed back to the side a little bit, and Boss Hog, I mean, he's the one that's talking.
Hey, that's all good though, man. That's why he work. I let him work the deals, and I just reap the benefits.
As you are here, get ready for your big, huge fight coming up against Iran Pascu. How's camp been going? You feeling 100%?
Feeling great. No injuries. I'm good. My wind is good.
Do we have a prediction?
Fight of the night is what I'm calling it. I have it written down right here. I'm saying this fight has a fight of the night written all over it. Two bangers, smashing.
I just want to put on a clinic, man. I just want to put it on. So my goal is to have just a bunch of people watching in slow-mo multiple times after the fight.
Just keep replaying it, kind of like what people are doing with the Khabib and the Conor thing on loop. Let's just keep playing that video over and over again.
Yeah. That was more like once. Mine's like more of like, I want mine to be more like a Mayweather. When people are like, oh, he didn't really do nothing, and then, well, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna finish the fight, but I'm saying in the in between time, when you slow it down, you're like, oh, I didn't even. Oh, okay. He did that. I want that. That's what I want.
See, that's why I'm saying fight of the night. We're going to see the best we've ever seen Lorenz Larkin, the healthiest we've seen Lorenz Larkin in quite some time. That if you thought the last fight when you saw Lorenz Larkin take on Fernando Gonzalez, and that was a stand and bang contest. You're about to be in for a treat, I think, coming up for this fight.
I agree.
Oh yeah, I'm ready, man. These things are ready. See how bony? See how they protrude out? You see the vocab? How they protrude?
Only here on the Sports Warriors you get Lorenz Larkin, like free Lorenz Larkin. This is what you get. Lorenz, dude, you're probably right now one of the scariest dudes. We told everybody at last week's shows that we really feel bad for anybody in this welterweight division that they have to look at you and they have to look at Douglas Lima. And I feel bad for anybody that will have to face either one of you guys in this tournament.
Hey, that's he's the man for a reason. So he's the dude. But I'm the dude too. So we're both the dudes.
The double dudes. But wait, we're the double dudes. You can't be a dude.
No, but you guys are the dudes. You know what I mean? You guys are the dudes that gets into the dudes to become the dudes. You know what I mean?
How many dudes are we going to say dudes on this show right now?
Lorenz Larkin, before we let you go and do your little photo shoot, well, your half-naked photo shoot, whatever you want to call it, on your cashmere leather seat behind you, I want to know, just because I can and I want to, what was your thought process with the Khabib and the Conor situation? What did you think about that? Should Dylan Dennis be suspended for his part in this?
I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I don't care for Dylan. I mean, I don't know. Khabib jumped over the fence, so at the end of the day, it's self-defense. And I don't know. I mean, it's bad enough he bleaches his hair, so it's like that's enough shame that's enough.
1990 called. They want their hairstyle back.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Did he get suspended? I don't think he should probably be suspended for self-defense.
What about Khabib? Should he?
I mean, yeah, he should probably get suspended. But me as a fighter, I'm like, yeah, suspend him for like 4 months.
So the common thing right now is suspend him for at least 3 to 4 months
is what we're
So
kind
I
of
think
getting.
that's a consensus going around the circle, is that he should be suspended, but not for long. I think the consensus, everybody's saying don't strip him of the title too. Just kind of give him the slap on the wrist like Conor McGregor got, kind of thing, and move on.
You can't take his title, because now that's that's not the commission, that's the UFC doing that, So I mean, as far as the commission laying down their punishment, 3 to 4 months, and for the people who really don't know too much about MMA, that's like nothing for established fighter, because it's more of like, we fight every like 5 months, 5 to 4 months. So it's like, it's not really a suspension. It's pretty much the time that you are already going to take off the fight, but you're suspended.
Absolutely. Well, Lorenz Larkin, Bellator 207 right around the corner. You're getting geared up for probably one of the biggest fights of your career to get to that welterweight strap. Get that W. Go get that strap. You've earned it, big boy.
Thank you, man.
Also, turn sideways and show the bell for Riverside before you go out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. All heart right there by Lorenz Larkin. Thank you for joining the Sports Warriors. Good luck on your fight.
All right, guys. Take care.
All right. Again, Lorenz Larkin. Again, Sean, the consensus seems to be going around the MMA community is 3 to 4 months suspension for Khabib. You don't strip him of the title. Again, I'm really surprised that a lot more people don't feel like that Dylan Dennis has did a whole lot enough to warrant a suspension. I'm kind of surprised on that, because in my eyes he was
the
partly
instigator on the outside.
Yeah, and
so I get that, but at some point Dylan Dennis is going to get his own. but one individual that is going to get his own, that when we come out of break,
is in studio.
Mason, the Beast Bramlette, who's in studio. Got pushed back a little bit. We apologize for that one, but we'll go into break, and we'll get Mason, the Beast Bramlette here.
Yep, we're the Ducross Brothers Sports Warriors, live on Facebook, live on IELiveTV.com. We're the Sports Warriors. Just Google us, Sean and Tristan Ducross, Facebook, the Ducross Brothers. We'll be right back.
You're now listening to the Sports Warriors with Sean and Tristan Ducross every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You want all your local amateur MMA news? You want a new fresh take on pro MMA? This is your show every Wednesday on IELiveTV.com and Facebook Live.
It's time! Oh my... It's time! No, it's time.
Bruce, time for dinner.
Hello, I'm Lyle Murdoch of IE Live TV. Have you ever had an idea or dreamt about producing your own show? Or maybe you just have an event that you'd like to make available online? Then contact us here at IE Live TV. We are using the latest technology in live streaming and top quality video equipment in our productions. Servicing all audio and video needs, our systems are compact, wireless, and completely mobile, so our presence is barely noticeable. Here at IE Live TV, we're doing high quality audio and video productions at a fraction of the cost of other production studios. To find us, just go to www.ielivetv.com or give us a call at 866-831-5737. IE Live TV for quality live video streaming.
All right, everybody, we are back. We are the Ducross Brothers, the Sports Warriors. I'm Tristan Ducross. On my side, as always, my brother, Sean Ducross. So we've had Russ Edwards on the show, the Silverback. We discussed what happened in the Khabib and Conor situation. Our take, his take, either way, it seems like a suspension is needed. It is warranted for Khabib. Stripping of the title, not so much. Lorenz Larkin comes on the show. We talk about him about to get ready for one of his biggest fights of his career and hoping that it leads to the Bellator welterweight strap. He's ready to rock and roll. He says 3 to 4 months suspension for Khabib is necessary. In the meantime, Mason, the Beast Bramlette from IE Fight Night Youth, the youth side, as we continue to grow our relationship with IE Fight Night, and IE Fight Night continues to grow from the grassroots up, David Bramlette's son is in the Warriors Den. I just want to call him Little Bramlette, but he has a nickname. His name is The Beast. And Mason, the Beast Bramlette, is in the Warriors Den. Mason, first time on a talk show?
Yeah.
Mic up? Yeah? So, apparently you had a long night, so we're going to try to wake you up here.
Get you a little bit re-energized.
So, I guess...
Do we have to play Sir Mix-a-Lot right now?
Dude, hey, do we have Sir Mix-a-Lot?
Maybe that'll wake up Mason a little bit.
Get him on camera so he could do his little Mix-a-Lot dance like he did the first night that we saw him. Get him to stand up. Your mom's over there going like, oh, God, no. God, no. And Mason, you do realize you started this, right? We're never going to let this go. You do understand that.
And what was the last song that you came out to too?
She looks like one of the
Oh, there we go.
guy's girlfriend.
Come on, Mason.
Come on, Mason.
See, now Mason's awake. There we go. That's what it took to wake him up a little bit. All right, we got to come up with a song for Mason to come out to. October 20th, i.e. Fight Night. We got to come up with another interesting song for you to come out to.
Only here on the Sports Warriors do you get Russ Edwards uncandid, Lorenz Larkin uncandid, and then you get Mason the Beast Bramlette
Where he danced
to Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Sure.
Sure, why not? Only on the Sports Warriors we get that right here.
So what song are you coming out to? Do you know? Do you already
have that
planned?
planned already?
Well, I want to walk out to the first song I ever walked out to.
Which was?
I was going to say Sir Mix-a-Lot. That's the one we heard.
That was the first time we saw.
It's like Let the Bodies Hit the Floor, something like that.
Let the Bodies Hit the Floor by, oh my God.
Disturbed.
No. YouTube, The Bodies That Hit the Floor. Oh my God, Drowning Pool. Drowning Pool?
I think so.
We'll see if we can get that going real quick. You'll remember this because
Yes, I remember that because we used to listen to that
Right.
growing up as a kid.
As a kid.
I'm surprised Mason here knows what that song
right?
is.
12 years old, right?
Yeah, this is
This is it.
Yeah.
Everybody's in the chat room like, what is going on? Right? Yes, I'm fully aware, but
I think everybody got the gist of it.
But yeah, so you started MMA when you were what, 5 years old?
Yeah.
How did you start MMA first and then go to wrestling?
Well, I started off at 10th Planet doing jiu-jitsu. And then I did wrestling with Christian. And then I was doing boxing with Chad. So I wanted to do a pancration fight. So they set up a match. It was at a tournament, I believe. Yeah, it was a tournament. It wasn't in the cage.
Did you win?
Yeah. I don't think I threw a single punch.
What? I've noticed that. Like, the last couple of times we watched you fight, I even looked at your dad and we're like, does he know how to throw a punch? Because he just seems to like to wrestle.
Yeah, my first match, I took him down and got him in an armbar, I think.
Yeah, which seems to be about a common theme with you. Take the opponent to the ground and then submit him.
Yeah.
Why
He likes
don't
to make wrestlers tend to like to make fighters very uncomfortable.
And Bramlette does that. How do you think this fight's going to go for you for a title? Because this is your first title shot, right?
No.
You've had a title shot before?
Yeah.
Have you won a title? He's thinking.
Yeah, I think so.
You think so?
But
Looks over at his mom.
Yeah,
He's trying to get the answer from his mom.
Yeah.
Yes, you have a title?
Yeah.
So you're going to go after the USFL
130 title.
schoolboy title.
Yeah.
Are you excited for that fight?
Yeah.
he gets so shy. He's like, yeah. Or Rudy Lara's like, this kid is cool. Yeah.
So you went from being really lively to kind of like kind of shy.
I don't say.
What have you been training for this fight? Have you
a lot of wrestling.
A lot of wrestling?
Yeah.
Any stand up?
Sometimes.
Sometimes?
Yeah.
Why don't you like stand up? Do you not like to get punched in the face?
No, I do. It's just, I don't know.
Wrestling first, then everything else second?
Pretty much. And I've been doing jiu-jitsu in the morning.
So, are you going to plan on doing any jiu-jitsu tournaments too in the near future, or?
Plan on it.
And you're going to wrestle in high school too, correct?
Yeah.
So, what are you looking forward to that portion on wrestling in high school?
Make varsity.
Do you want to be state champ?
That'd be nice.
Next thing you know,
Next year.
Next year?
Yeah.
He's 12 years old, so
let's not rush him into high school
right?
already.
No, I said, when is it?
I know, but let's not rush him into high school.
It would be longer. I thought he was younger.
He's 12 years old and he's already feels like that he's already a
So
teenager.
do you have already some big ambitions about where you want to go with wrestling or with MMA right now?
For wrestling, I want to get a college scholarship for wrestling. And
To win.
I don't know. really.
Anywhere that'll give you a full ride, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
But do you want to stay local?
Not really.
You want out of California?
Kinda.
Where would you like to go?
Oregon would be nice.
Why Oregon?
Why do you want to go to Chael Sutton? Why do you want to go to his place? The mean streets of Oregon.
I don't know.
Westland, Oregon. That's where you want to go?
Yeah, pretty much.
You want me a beaver? Or a duck?
Beaver or a duck? Please
Beaver.
say duck. Oh, he said beaver. Sean's like, please say duck. Please say duck. And he says beaver. And I'm like, oh, man. Why do you want him to be a duck?
I don't know. When you talk about Oregon, you talk about the Oregon Ducks, not the Oregon State Beavers.
Just say, maybe he doesn't know the difference between a beaver and a duck, and he just said a beaver.
Because it was the easiest thing to remember?
Probably.
Probably.
See? Dude, this kid is going on a couple hours of sleep because of a math test, and we're asking him about what school he's planning to go in the near future. What do you think was going to happen?
I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out what's going to happen next.
So, October 20th at IE Fight Night Youth, how do you think the fight's going to turn out? Are your hand going to be raised, and how?
Well, I want my hand to be raised. And probably submission.
What limb are you taking that night?
Arm.
Arm?
Yeah.
Every kid's dream. Let's just take an arm, put it up on a banner,
right?
And just call it a day. Apparently everybody loves to collect arms at your guys' age when it comes to pancreation. Do you guys have a bet going about how many arms you guys can collect?
I mean, not really. But
I think at some point we should start tallying. The more and more we watch IE Fight Night and commentate for IE Fight Night, we should probably have our own checklist and start keeping tabs of our own bulletin board of which youth kid takes the most arms.
Or we could just start sharpieing his arm instead of a tattoo, so every time he actually gets it, his dad will know, oh, my son has collected this many arms today, and then check mark, check mark, check mark. You can't get a tattoo. You're still too young. I'm sorry. So it's Sharpie.
16.
Huh?
I turned 16 again.
You're getting a tattoo at 16?
Trying.
You're trying.
Yeah.
So you have to sweet talk your mom and your dad into that one.
You do realize that, right?
Yeah.
You do realize that your dad is like twice your size.
Your mom's
right?
over there that like, no, it has to go through her.
You're going to have to do a lot of sweet talking from here on out, all the way till your 16th birthday.
I mean, it works a lot of the time, so might as well try.
Oh my God! Only here on the Sports Warriors.
So now I see him getting your idea, going, you know what? That's not a bad tattoo idea. I'm gonna get lines put on my body to.
I was joking.
Get a bedpost.
Get a bedpost and do the notches. After every fight, he's notching the bedpost. Like today, I wake up and I have an arm here. Then you sleep again, wake up, I have an arm here. Instead of the Easter Bunny or instead of the Tooth Fairy, you have the arm fairy that comes in, and my son has gotten an arm here. And you grave it right in the bedpost.
So when he wakes up in the morning, he's like, oh, wait, I did really take an arm that night. David walks in.
Whose brilliant idea was this? Whoops, it was the Sports Warriors. Whoops. Sorry, David. If you start seeing notches on your bedpost, just know that it was the arm fairy, not the New Cross Brothers. We had nothing to do with it.
Hashtag the arm fairy.
Yes. Only here on the Sports Warriors. So, Mason, what else do you have for us? What are you gearing up for next? I know you got high school coming around the corner. You got your fight coming up. What else have you been working on?
What do you mean?
How's school? What's that going on like? I mean,
homeschooled.
You're homeschooled.
Yeah.
So he can really focus on anything and everything.
Then why did you stay up till hell froze over last night doing math homework? How did that make sense? You were homeschooled. His teacher would be his mom.
No, it's online.
It's online. Okay. I'm sorry.
And then I had to go this morning to take a math test at the school.
At what time? And did you pass? Please tell me you passed.
I don't know.
Do you think you passed?
Pretty sure.
Pretty sure.
I mean, I suck at math. It's not my fault.
Dude, I suck at math. I got suspended because I failed math because they thought I was cheating off my brother. So I know
True
math.
story.
Yes, true story. I got suspended from college because we were in the same class, and they're like, well, that's the same answer as your brother. I'm like, well, duh, because we're in the same class. Well, we're failing you and passing Sean. Academic probation later, because that makes sense. So, yes, I know I suck at math too. 2 + 2, 4. That's about it. Anything beyond that point, forget it. I don't use math in every day, right?
You use it at your work every day as a store manager.
It's to count money and coins. That is simple.
See?
That's what I'm saying. Why do you need variables?
Hold the mic up.
Why do you need variables?
Right? Why do you need pi? What's the point? I like to eat pie, but I don't use
What's
pie.
the point of fractions and decimals?
What's the point of square root? What do we use it for?
Nothing.
Exactly. Thank you. See?
All we need to know is that I count money.
Yes.
That's about it.
Yes. How many strippers on a payroll? I don't know. Ask Floyd. You count the money. That's pretty much where we're at right now, right?
Yeah.
If you can count past 2, you're golden. If you can count money and count coins, you're good.
As long as you don't give back the wrong change, you're fine.
Right.
I mean, it might just be a couple cents off, but that's about it.
See?
So math woke him up more than talking about MMA right now. The conversation of what do we use math for?
Only here on the New Cross Brothers do we talk shit on math. What's the point of having math? It doesn't.
Math only runs the universe. That's all.
For
what reason?
For what reason? We don't do pie. I eat pie. We don't use it. Variables, like he said, we don't use it.
The universe is math.
That's all.
What, trying to determine if the world is flat or round?
Only here on the New Cross Brothers Sports, where Mason, the Beast, Bramlette, do we talk about math and get the answers that we all seek in life about how important math is.
Well, at least he passed this test. After we woke him up to dancing to Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Then drove him to sleep a little bit during mid-portion of the interview.
And then brought him back with math discussion, apparently.
Only here on the New Cross Brothers. Math Bashing 101 on the New Cross Brothers Sports Warriors with Mason, the Beast, Bramlette. Mason, thank you for joining us.
Check him out. Check him out at IE Fight Night, October 20th, as he fights for the 130 USFL title.
Yep. We're the New Cross Brothers, IELiveTV.com. Mr. Lyle Murdoch behind us doing his thing. We're the New Cross Brothers. I'm Tristan Ducross. On my side, as always, my brother Sean Ducross. We are the Sports Warriors. You can like us, friend us on Facebook, Sean and Tristan Ducross. Like our fan page, Ducross Brothers. Hit us up on Twitter at Ducross Bros. Till next time, we do this every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Till next time, we're out.